Good one.
How do I get that?
Let's do this. 6:05.
Hey, Catherine.
We'll start with the approval of last meeting's minutes, which Deb, you won't.
Right.
Karen, did you get a chance to read over them?
Yes, I did, and I saw no errors or anything like that.
All right.
That water bottle over there.
Approve 'em?
Yes, I moved to approve them.
We've got to talk about musical chairs of officers. Now that we have a new trustee on the board.
I know
Thoughts
that.
on?
I know that Karen struggled with that. I don't mind doing the financial if that's what you guys want me to do. 'Cause I know you. I know you really love doing it.
It's a receipt.
Well, I'll do it a little longer.
I can't do it right away anyway.
Right.
Or when you come back.
Yeah. If that's what you want.
Well, maybe
It's up to
I
you.
can keep doing it because I can't,
Do the minutes.
no, well, I can do them by hand.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think there's no rule that says the minutes have to be typed.
No. Do it by hand all the time. And then I type it in afterwards. So.
Or you can be chair. There are 3 positions to choose from.
Yes, but you're a good chair. Although, maybe you're tired of chairing.
I don't particularly like doing the minutes, but I'm happy with whatever. Not treasurer.
Do you want me to do minutes tonight? Well, I don't have time to do it. I really don't. Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't have time.
All right. So where does that? Who wants to be? Who wants to be treasurer? Who wants to be secretary?
Well, I'd like to be treasurer for a while, or are you talking about tonight?
I don't think
No,
we're
no,
gonna have
for
to-
the future,
yeah,
like for
yeah.
the next year.
We can trade whenever, right? There's no.
Oh yeah, you can trade whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to do it for a few more months, anyway,
Okay.
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 but, thank you. Or whoever said,
Yeah, no, I know that you.
tear my hair out, yeah.
All right.
I can be the secretary. But I'd rather not do it tonight.
Okay.
Sorry.
Staffing. So that's the real. This is a beefy subject for immediate business, but.
So do you want to know what I've got worked out?
Sure.
Okay. As interim director, I worked out a plan that it will bring us to probably near the end of April.
Well.
So Susan's going to do Wednesday morning, Carol's going to do Monday nights, and Sandy's going to do Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings. We just have to hire Carol.
Okay.
Sandy was already a staff member, and Susan we've already hired. So you have to probably make a motion, vote on Carol.
Yeah.
Now Carol, I can just tell you that she really don't want to do it, but she's doing it to keep the library open.
Okay.
So if you do find somebody else in the meantime,
Me too.
Same with
You know,
Susan,
I had
yeah.
thought that we had someone lined up, and
Yeah.
I volunteered as a bridge. Didn't intend to do it indefinitely.
And we
Yeah.
might still have someone lined up. I'm having conversations with the candidate from
Oh,
before.
cool.
So,
awesome.
Wonderful.
but one of the things I want to get to. Well, first of all, so we need to talk about wages, because
I will tell you that I haven't been sworn in yet. I can't be sworn in until Saturday, so I probably can't vote on anything.
okay.
But I can certainly agree and be part of the discussion.
Okay, yeah. Just in talking to other local libraries, as part of the advertising as this library, for the library director, they all said, which we knew, no way. You know, the wages are way too low. And the hours are weird.
And the amount of
And that
hours.
is what we've heard from potential candidates too, is that I can't commit to 3 hours here and there throughout the whole week because it means I just can't have any other life except for this poorly paid, weirdly timed job. So I think it's worth having a conversation of can we shift hours, and maybe it's a conversation with the potential, or not the the library director candidate that we have.
Maybe we just make that part of the job description, like as far as just putting in it.
Hours are flexible.
Hours are not flexible, but
up for
up for discussion.
Negotiable?
Yeah, negotiable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah.
And optimizing library hours is part of
Right,
the
if I could,
strategic
if I may,
plan.
we did talk about the possibility of changing shifts, and there were so many, Kate was trying some new programs and had new staff, she just felt it was one change too many at the time. I don't know if you recall that, which made sense, but we promised we would revisit it. And I think it's definitely worth considering. I had thought back then that the gap between Wednesday and Saturday was fairly large, and that there are no afternoon shifts.
Right.
Might be nice to have one shift that were, 3 to 6, something like that. I don't know, just throwing it out for consideration. I think there were also thoughts as to how it might impact regular patrons.
Right.
But I can tell you right now, having worked Wednesday evening for the last few weeks, that it is very low.
Wednesday
Usage.
evening is
Very
is
low
unpopular.
usage.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
not popular.
and we could decide that instead of changing it, we do things to draw people in Wednesday evening. That's another option.
Yeah, making a program.
Because I think changing the hours when we already have funky hours, you have to take that seriously because people use the library, are used to those shifts.
Right, oh, yeah,
Change is
right.
hard.
Yeah, I feel like
So that's why I'm thinking either change it or do something to bring people in Wednesday evening.
What are the most popular shifts? Do we have a sense of?
I would. I'll tell you, I'm doing really well on all 3 of my shifts. Monday night, Wednesday
what
morning,
a brag.
and Saturday. No, I'm just serious. I've been doing really well. There've been a lot of patrons on all 3 of those shifts. I've been really because Monday nights used to be pretty slow too, but all of a sudden there's people coming. So I don't know.
Well, it's
I'm
interesting. I think people get habits,
yeah.
and the
I-
habit Wednesday is not strong.
I personally feel that we probably shouldn't change it until a director is on board
Yeah.
and wants to look at that, and then possibly it could be do a in-library survey from the patrons that use it, saying is there other hours you think would
Yeah,
be
I think we
better?
need to be real careful about changing.
Yeah. But I do think that that's something that we shouldn't do while we're in flux.
I would propose that we increase the wages of the workers to at least, I think, 15 for all the
Assistants,
library assistants,
staff.
and then 20 for the director, at least. And
I'm good with that.
Yeah, we
The
have
only
the-
way
we
you're
have the
gonna
money in the
attract good
budget.
people is to pay them.
Right.
That would be good.
Yeah, now that I've left.
Exactly. That's what I was waiting for that. And now's the time to do it, because if we are putting in a hiring form for Carol, we can do the salary changes. I mean, did those hourly rates seem fine? Would anyone argue for a different hourly rate?
Wouldn't we need
That's
to
good.
work out what the impact on the budget?
Yeah,
And
that's what
we
I'm.
need to shift some expenses from other line items to cover it? How would we do it?
Well, part of this is related to, where did I put it in here? With the budget amendment at deliberative session for $2,000 more, to send a letter to the selectmen and say, we know that this is, it goes to the general fund, but acknowledge that it was intended for the library. We'd like to see that added to our budget.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think that, yeah, you could send a letter, but I think it's probably worth it to actually go to the meeting too, and, you know.
Yeah.
But just to, get their confirmation that that's what it's for, and that they're gonna do it.
And also acknowledging that the budget increase is for the expected cost of electricity and heating oil, but even with that, we tried to budget for better wages.
But I don't, you know, I don't know enough about the budget to sit here and say, yeah, I mean, it sounds good to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know enough about the budget to say how that works. But I know that if you want to attract staffing, that's,
That's the way to do it. Okay. Does who has time to go to Sarah tomorrow morning and do those hiring forms?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just ask politely that they're done fully, properly, so it's less work for Sarah? I know your pay raise, Sandy's and Sharon's wasn't signed by trustees. She had to hunt.
It was signed by trustee because I did it in person at Sarah's office.
There's a couple of them that weren't signed at all. I don't know if it was a pay raise or a hiring.
Maybe by the employees themselves.
They weren't signed, so.
Then I would ask.
I think mine wasn't signed. No, maybe it was. Maybe it was. I don't know.
I did 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, the pay rate wasn't on there because she had.
Well, I
I know
would
we couldn't
expect.
pay Sandy for a week. I think we had an issue with paying you.
Okay, well that's something that
no,
yeah,
just
I hear
make
that.
it easier
Sarah,
for Sarah.
Sarah should be able to reach out to me. I mean, she's got my contact, so
Yeah.
if there's a problem, we want to make sure that's addressed.
Yeah, I know there was something with mine, but I don't know
I
what
think
it
yours
was.
and Sandy's.
My mind was consumed.
Next thing, the elephant with the debrief of town meeting. We don't have to go too much into it, but I'm curious about next
Wait a minute,
steps. and
before we leave the wages and hiring,
yeah.
so are you guys gonna vote to hire,
Oh, we should vote on yeah.
Okay, vote to hire,
I'll make a motion to hire Carol and to
Yeah,
increase
Carol.
the wages
Hold
of
on.
our.
I second.
and, so you're just gonna leave pay as is right now, or what are you gonna do about that?
When I did the budget calculations, we have the money
funding?
for it, yeah.
Then you guys can make that motion.
Yeah.
Hold on, you have to do that, that's a motion.
That's what I motioned for both.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did I not hear that?
Were you listening, Deb?
No, I wasn't.
So $15 an hour for Cal.
For all library assistants.
Oh, so I fill out the form
Yeah,
saying
we're gonna
all
have to follow
library.
along again.
Do I write all library assistants or write? the
Every individual
names as they-
employee has a form.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Susan, Carol, and Sandy.
And, is that it?
Yep.
Yeah, I would say there's I'm gonna assume that there's no.
Well, and Sharon. I think I did.
Oh, yeah.
Sharon is still on the
Just in
staff.
case, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think there's gonna be an interim director for now.
Right. We've got still some time.
Yeah.
So do you have an exciting candidate?
I mean, we had one candidate who withdrew, sort of withdrew. Well, yeah, but I'm in conversations with her.
So just have the one.
Yeah, and we could post it again. That's fine. And give you a chance to,
Yeah.
or we do another interview so that you have a chance to weigh in.
Well, if we do post it again, I mean, my availability is limited
Right.
for a bit, but I could certainly do things online, you know.
Yeah.
Like, well, I could do a meeting, a Zoom meeting or whatever, and I could be on Zoom here, and you guys could be here, whatever. But I think we should go over the job description.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Did you see? Do you want? I can send it to you again, or I can send it to you. Period. Did you see it? When it was
I
posted?
did see it, but why don't you send it to me? Why don't you send me the job description and I could put in my thoughts on that, which I think I did last time anyway.
Okay.
Excuse me for backtracking, but the assistant, is that librarian assistant or assistant librarian, or what's the exact title?
Title?
Nobody really seems to.
I think they're librarian assistants.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So Sarah will have the forms that I filled out.
Okay.
We can go off that.
Okay.
If they're consistent. Okay, so is it the consensus then that you would like to? We should post the job one more time.
Not if the that candidate, not if she's willing to still take the job. I don't think we should go through the whole process again. If we've got that candidate that you guys already are pro. I mean, I got no problem in not going through that. I don't, you know.
My only question is changing the hours?
Does that
Is her
change
acceptance
the-
predicated on changing the hours, and in which case,
That yeah.
we need to do that deliberatively.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to bring her in for a discussion, if she's willing to, I'll definitely make time.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what.
Oh, me too.
Okay. Let's see what she says.
What do you need me to do?
Mike.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Good with that.
So next steps.
I haven't had time to really. I saw you got your comments today, and I do appreciate them. I'm still struggling a little bit with the outcome, but I think I caught up on my sleep. Well, I don't know the next steps. I don't know what the next steps are. I'm assuming.
Well, there's a
that's-
recount. Is there?
Yeah,
a
yeah,
recount?
right. Catherine passed in the.
I posted it yesterday.
Yeah, we were sort of recommended to at least do the recount. It's only $10,
Okay.
and I don't know how they do the recount. Do you know, Lee, that they do it by hand or if they use the machine again? So by hand, I was recommended that we do it. So we said, what the heck? Throw the $10 in and get it done. I mean, 4 votes change. It changes the outcome of the election.
Is it,
So-
did they just look at number 19, or did they check everything in the recount?
Just 19. Yeah, we
Nineteen
just
or
what?
the other one that maybe.
Well, the margins on the others were decisive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some
Well,
people,
one was
you
only
can still
like 4
recount.
off, but anyway.
Yeah, I won
Well,
by one.
I know me and
lost
Steve
by
Darrow
one.
were fairly
I had
close
one
on
vote
trust
against
fund.
it. I still don't think that's
Maureen
really
and Elizabeth, David
That's
Hunter
not
were.
Understood.
Yeah, but they were second place though.
Oh, right.
Jenny was way
I
ahead.
forgot that, yeah, she like was double,
Yeah, right. So,
so that's a moot point.
yeah, I mean, we put it in. I don't know. She'll schedule the recount, so we won't know
Okay.
until she reschedules it and does it. I mean, I imagine she'll notify us when it will be. Yeah, I think
I
she'll.
thought it was gonna be tomorrow, but maybe I just imagined that.
Bonnie's gonna wait till Friday, just
Until-
in case there's another recount that needs to be done.
The same
We can do it all at the same time.
Oh, really? Okay, good. So do you know if she's gonna do it like this weekend? Or?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. But it's up to her to schedule it, correct?
And then who does the counting?
Selectman
With
Bonnie
someone
and
else, with like Steve.
I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, the moderator, yeah.
Okay.
Selectman.
So then it sounds like next steps are, I mean, the recount, we just kind of wait and digest. We
Yeah,
let
yeah,
the dust settle, and we
Yeah.
come back in April and we think about.
yeah.
There's one, I wouldn't say urgent, but one decision that would need to be made very quickly, and that is, does it make sense? Is it at all rational to apply for these upcoming grant
Yeah.
opportunities?
Right.
And I think that's worth thinking about.
Yeah, I think is it the training on the 25th?
23rd, there's a
23rd.
webinar, yeah.
I mean, you probably attend that anyways, I'm assuming,
I'm gonna
in
be
your job?
I'm gonna be away.
Oh, you are?
But I'll get the recording of it.
I
Oh, yeah.
signed up to get the recording because I can't attend it live, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that about grants?
It's the one particular CDFA pot of money that would have paid for the second phase.
Might have paid for the whole thing, the whole project. We had a, really good shot of getting some.
Like, well, this.
Yeah, and it's funny because Paul said to me, well, you guys didn't push that. And I said, no, we didn't, because you don't want to promise a grant and then not have it fall through. We pushed it, but we didn't, we talked about it, but we didn't say it's a guarantee, because we don't know if it's a guarantee until it
Well,
happens.
that's when I went around, I said, this is an enormous opportunity, but I can't guarantee that it's going to
Right.
happen.
Can we apply for the grant if we don't know if we can vote? I mean, it's like,
We can always go to the town for a vote if we need to.
So when I you mean like a special
Yes.
town meeting?
Yeah, that's tough.
When I did call CDFA and I said, with the results of our town meeting, how does that affect both the community support piece of this and the shovel ready nature of it, because we wouldn't
Right.
really have the authority to build it this year or start
Right.
building it. And they said, well, stay tuned on the 23rd to see if there might be some discussion about
23rd
extending
of
the
March.
funding opportunity or doing a second round.
Second
So,
round next year, perhaps?
maybe.
This is the 23rd of March we're talking about.
Yeah. And my understanding is, so this Fogel would be the applicant anyway. The library trustees would not be the applicant, so,
I think it'd be worth consulting an attorney and see what grant it's on. Because that was a grant that was put forward by Gray, and it was for the town's benefit. I don't know the steps of what's happened to the Gray agreement, but there have been various changes along the way.
so when I talked to the charitable trust unit at the Attorney General's office, they said, that, let me read the email. They said that if the town were, we would be concerned if the town had accepted this charitable gift for library purposes and was not moving at all toward the goal, and if if it became clear the select board was frustrating the donor's charitable intent, then the AG would be involved. So, it,
I don't
that
want to
doesn't
give
really
up
answer
at this point.
right, I mean, it just, there's no, I don't think, legal standing to, change the election results or anything,
No,
right?
we can't
But,
change the election results, but
oh,
I think
just
there may
find
be
me
other
7 more.
courses of different.
yeah. Well, it's worth seeing after the recount and,
Yeah, so you're saying, can we do the project anyway? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not sure the wisdom of that personally.
I don't believe we can, and I think it would
Yeah.
it would cause
No.
more problems,
Well,
but.
Yeah, I don't know if I mean, if the recount comes out differently, then that's one thing, then we go with it. If it came out that,
So we try again next year when everything costs twice as much?
like we said, we'll take that, let's get through this right now.
Yep.
Let's get through this recount. I still think it's important that people do watch, I again will be watching the seminar. I think it's important that we do watch it or go to it or whatever.
How do you
I think, I mean, Elena should watch it or go to it as well. Anybody that is part of the crew basically the people that have been working on it, I think it's valuable for anybody to watch it personally.
So,
Do you want me to send the link to you?
Yes, please.
I mean, aside from pledges, though, this it makes it very difficult to fundraise for this project.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Fogel's in a difficult position.
If you don't see it in a couple days, email me. Because I've got a lot going on this weekend.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, if there's something to go after, like even you said something about to pay for some architectural services or something like that, it might be worth doing, and to even if we
just
if we had to
more
hire
homework
somebody
and
to
planning.
Do more,
put together
do more planning.
to put together a plan that would appease what people want. You know what I mean? They're stressing on the plan. It would be nice if we had somebody that could do that. You know?
I have one comment that came back to me, was that people were put off by the fact that you described it as a shell. They made them feel very worried that it was a building that would never ever be completed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and
think
I'll
it's a bad
admit,
choice of
yeah.
words.
I'm not, I understand people's concerns. I do. I just understand, but I think we still did pretty well even with the amount of concerns out there, if you think about it. I mean, we almost did it.
Yeah,
So-
I think we did excellently. Well, not quite.
Well, given the fact that we didn't pass it, that's an extraordinary showing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you would say that, basically this town is.
Considering that the select board was against it and also did the town, the election said we do not recommend but the budget committee was against it and the select board was against it. With those two strikes on the ballot itself and to still get 175, I thought that was actually pretty good.
Yep. Library business?
All right.
Any more thoughts about
Look what?
about the next steps? We feel like we're
No,
As far as what?
let's
Any
just
more discussion about
let
it?
the dust settle and
Oh yeah, no, I'm good with talking about that.
okay.
Like I said, I'm still processing
Yeah.
and exhausted.
As you should be.
We're not going
It
for
was a
long
heroic
vacation.
effort. Director's report. This is
I just say I don't have one
Yeah.
because I haven't been doing it, but I will say that, we haven't been doing the numbers, we've been tracking how many come, but we haven't been putting them on a list and stuff like that. I just feel like, until we get a director, I'm not sure we need to worry about that kind of
Okay.
stuff, that's my opinion.
Can
I
I
mean,
just
we
throw
know we
in
have people
something?
using the library.
Only that, there were 2 new programs launched over the past month, and that's worth acknowledging
Yes.
at this meeting. Watercoloring was very well attended, a chess club as well. A book club continues to
Be
burst,
strong.
to burst out of this building. And I put out more flyers for Astronomy Club, and I've got a lot of calls, and even on election day, people are saying, I'm gonna be there. So I think we're doing pretty well with our programming, and whatever our next steps are, I think knocking that out of the park in the coming year,
Yeah.
engaging more people in a meaningful way in lifelong learning via the library is gonna build a case for the building and build support, so
Yeah.
that's just my little pitch, but
That's
also
your little blip.
affirmation of the work that went into launching 2 new programs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Elena's program with watercoloring, it was basically, we had to set up, I think, 3 more, at least 2 or 3 more,
Tables.
yeah,
Yeah, we could
folding
have had
tables,
extra people if they wanted to come.
yeah.
has that been changed, the date? Because right now, we have astronomy and painting on the same,
No,
No,
I
no,
don't-
we don't.
no?
But then,
Astronomy's on the 25th.
yeah, so,
Right. When
so's
is
the
the-
painting.
Yeah, but it's at 4 o'clock,
It's different times.
different times.
Okay.
The painting is at noon,
Oh.
the
painting.
astronomy is at
It's
4, I believe.
correct.
Okay.
That is
Um,
You know
correct.
something? We might wanna think about getting something up there about a poster for the painting thing.
I will, I just
Okay.
wanted to check with Elena.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, we should get a
But
poster of that.
people notice the poster in town office, so we need to do a better job of voting programs at the
Yeah.
town office.
Yep.
And the post office. I put it
Yeah,
out
the
there,
post
too.
office, yeah.
Um,
And it'd be nice, we don't have anybody that can post them on the website. We can't have access to the web, and nobody here, the staff can't have access to the website.
Yeah, Sarah's offered to give me training. I thought, well, we were gonna have a director in a little bit, so I don't need
Okay.
it. But
Yeah, I mean, we'll survive,
yeah.
we'll survive.
The astronomy thing is at the library.
I believe on the internet it says it's at the town hall.
On the town,
Yeah, I think it's the town website, it
Well,
says town hall.
well, it's going to be at the library.
I know Elaine is thinking about switching it to the church.
Yeah, switching painting to the Millbrook.
Yeah, it's a Millbrook Church. She's thinking about it because you got all the running water and
Those luxuries.
space. Yeah,
25th.
Parking.
parking.
It says library?
Yeah,
It
library.
says library.
Oh, somewhere, maybe it was another month.
The previous one we had at town hall.
Oh, okay,
We're gonna have this at the library.
okay.
So it's at the
Sorry.
library. You almost don't want to advertise too much.
I'm
Because I'm happy to put it on the Mascoma listserv, but
Yeah, I'm bumming around there and miss it.
even 7 extra people or something would be tight.
I've got it figured out.
All right, great. Great. Treasurer's report.
Okay, budget versus actual is not done yet. But here's transaction detail.
Thank you.
And who wants to fight over the last copy, or I could make
We
it?
can share, we
we're
can
sharing.
share.
We're doing a good job sharing.
Okay.
Did you get
So wait a minute, the phone and the internet's cheaper than my home one? Jeez.
It's the same price as mine. It's interesting the electric bill.
Oh, that reminds me. I've got a couple things to pass in for reimbursement. You'll notice how bright and shiny it is in here today.
I did. So, I was gonna comment. Is this did Steve Goodlick come by and do this, or is
No.
this
No, I didn't.
okay?
Chris Pope helped you, right?
Chris Pope helped me. He kept me entertained for an hour while I was doing it. He watched well.
He's
Okay,
a good
got
one.
He held a light bulb once in a while.
Understood. Well, he told me, he asked me, are you happy? I said, yeah, I can.
I just, you know, I've said this before, but I'm glad I can say it, and it'll even be online. I mean, yeah. I bought, these are 200 waters that are in these 4. The previous ones, and there was only 3 working, were 60.
Oh,
That's just so ridiculously low, and they were a yellowish color.
now you can see.
These are now 150 waters.
Yeah,
I
like,
really appreciate it.
Oh,
I
that's
could
what it
not
looks like
stand the
in
books
here.
on the
Electric bill
shelves,
is
there wasn't
gonna go
enough
up.
light
And
to read the signs.
These do have the adapters in them because to purchase the light bulbs with the small,
oh, the little sockety.
yeah, the little
thing.
socket, the smaller sockets, you know, I don't know if it's
The thing that-
812,
yeah.
AE12 or something, but anyway, because to buy them light bulbs was more than buying
The
standard light bulbs with the adapters, and I thought when we ever got to replace them, it's a lot easier to go out and get these. So yeah, it really made a huge difference. And when I opened up the package of light bulbs, now these are pretty good size. And you know how they got the caution warning?
Yeah,
It says caution, do not put in mouth and try to swallow. I am dead serious.
Who's mine?
One of those lawyers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lawyers and insurance
That means
companies.
it was
Someone
done
tried it.
before,
Yeah,
right? And that's why
exactly.
they have to.
So I've got a couple bills that I paid. So do you want to finish your thing, your report before
oh,
I?
no, that's, part of that, we can do that now. You didn't get any, did you get any financial donations or book donations?
Got book donations and I don't remember any financial no
Okay.
financial
A
donations.
lot of books?
I would say we probably got about 40 books
Wow.
and DVDs.
What is, this is from Booney?
That is from Bruni. It's a receipt. Open it.
Oh, that's for Fogel.
Oh, that's
That's for Fogel.
Oh, it's really, sorry. I said, do I give it to?
That's for the plaque,
Okay. Yep.
and the other one, you know, I don't, for the vacuum cleaner bags, because,
Sorry, I brought it because it saved you, so.
yeah, vacuum cleaner.
Thank you.
I don't know if where this business would occur, but I did want to bring it up. Last night, I was here, and there was a power outage after dark, and there was no light in here whatsoever.
That didn't go on?
No.
They're
And I
usually-
couldn't see anything. I mean, it was pitch black.
Do you wanna see if somebody can check that out, Lee?
So usually it's an emergency, it's a battery backup.
Right.
So it might be just
Watch your eyes.
replacing.
Oh,
I should have came on then.
Well, it was so dark. I mean, I couldn't find my
The door.
wallet to get my phone and use the phone flashlight. So I ended up just driving home and getting a flashlight and coming back and closing up because, I mean, it was
pitch black.
pitch black. It was kind of scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
huh. So those didn't come on,
No,
and there's no way to test that without tripping the whole breaker, right?
no. It was interesting to me how disoriented.
You came in that one room?
Just in one room,
That
but
one
when it's
small
completely
room.
black, it's just,
Yeah, huh.
So Debbie, if you don't mind, after the meeting, I'll go downstairs and trip the breaker.
Sure,
And we'll see if that,
yeah, see if it comes on.
So the bright city lights didn't help you?
there was no light.
It's hard
I
enough.
don't think I've ever been in such darkness.
You have to put your key in the door before you shut off all the lights to leave to your
Well, I
car.
was glad there was no one else here.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I'll make a motion to approve all donations and the reimbursement for the light bulbs and the plaque.
I second.
So that was for the plaque.
Okay, did you initial this somewhere?
No, I didn't
Oh.
bother.
Oh, okay, well, we don't need to, we just,
This was.
I accept these two invoices.
Yeah. So, and there's actually three because they said Amazon did it with two things.
Okay, so that has to do with the plaque, and this is
And then all the light bulbs.
vacuum bags, light
Oh, and
bulbs, and that's it? And we don't need to sign these anymore? We won't get in trouble?
I don't know why. I think that was just something they started, but I don't know if I mean, they do it I think the selectmen do it, don't they? They initial all the bills.
you have to fill out the paperwork with Sarah.
Bixby voice privacy contents have been updated.
Thank you.
Click the updated items on your screen.
No, but isn't that a selectman's office? You guys sign off on every bill?
Yeah, you'll have to fill out a paperwork for reimbursement.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about, for some reason, we don't seem to initial.
Now, usually like you do an initial,
Yeah, should we keep doing?
just so we have proof.
Sorry.
That she's not embezzling?
So do we want this reimbursed?
Yes, that's what Deb is
Yeah,
looking for.
yeah, I want reimbursement.
Oh, you,
Yeah, I paid for it,
oh, personal.
yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm a little slow on that. Okay.
You know, there's a paycheck here, I haven't received a paycheck yet.
Maybe it's coming. It should be February's paycheck, right?
Yeah, possibly.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's dated for tomorrow.
Okay, so I'll hold on to these and give them to Sarah tomorrow.
I think I just signed it. Yeah, I mean,
Huh?
I think I just signed the paperwork Monday for your paycheck.
Oh, did you?
I believe so.
This past Monday?
I believe so.
Yeah, I would've think I would've got here. You know how the mail is from Grafton to Grafton.
Yeah, how come they, oh, never mind, that's not relevant to this.
Goes to. All right.
Wait a minute, I got a little more to say,
Okay.
not much. Okay. I paid the Park Street Foundation for downloadable books, $475.
Cool.
And I'm going to give Sarah the, wait a minute, what's that term? I wrote it down, request for payment, but I forgot to copy the check, so I have to wait 2 weeks until it shows up on the statement, for which I apologize.
Oh, you know there's some statements in there too, in that thing?
What, also, I think this is the last thing, we got